Go put your mushrooms out in the sun for 6 hours tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it could drastically increase their levels of vitamin D, baby. That's what we're talking about today. Get those mushrooms outside in the sun with the gills up somewhere that the deer or whatever is not going to eat them. I don't really know if deer love mushrooms, but they eat about everything in my yard, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do. And it will increase the amount of vitamin D that they hold. Super, super fascinating. So that's the summary for those of you that just want the gist of it. Again, make sure the gills are face up. Chop them up to get more surface area. And that should maximize the results, the increases in vitamin D levels. All right. And it drastically, which we'll talk about everything here in a minute. So where does vitamin D come from? Well, primarily from the sun, right? And then it hits our skin and our body converts it into all these intermediates, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but we can also get it from food. Foods like salmon is about the natural richest source. Some other fish, lean pork, other meats like ribs or ham, also found in eggs, and of course any food that is fortified with vitamin D, right? But relatively scarce in terms of food sources. So the sunlight is the major source. Now, if you supplement with vitamin D, which by the way is probably either coming from sheep's wool, or fish oil, or pig skin, something oily fish or pig skin, something like that. Interestingly, it is the same vitamin D as you're getting from the sun. And so, they're all converted into the active form of vitamin D in the body. But there are other benefits to being outside in nature and getting fresh air and sunlight and, grounding and things like that too, which is for another day. But when we talk about vitamin D, there are two forms, majorly in vitamin D2 and vitamin D3 are those. Vitamin D2 we find in plants. Vitamin D3 is the animal form. Now, D2, as you find in the mushrooms, comes in the form of ergocalciferol. Right now, D3 comes in the form of cholecalciferol. However, both can be converted into the active form of vitamin D. So if you have either one, they're equally effective at increasing vitamin D levels. Now, the major difference is that D3 will stay in the blood for a matter of weeks, whereas D2, a matter of days, right? So remember, it is a fat-soluble vitamin, as A, E, and K also are, right? A, D, E, and K are fat solubles. And mosquito. And distracted. So we can store them in fat, right? They're fat soluble, so we keep that in mind, right? Now, when vitamin D2 or D3, right, gets into the body, well, it's converted in the liver into hydroxy vitamin D, right? 25 hydroxy vitamin D to be exact. And then in the kidneys to 125 dihydroxy vitamin D, and that is the active form that's converted in the kidneys. So again, either one will give you the same end product. Now, how much vitamin D do these mushrooms have in the beginning, and how much do they have at the end? Well, it was an experiment. What they did was they had some that they left in the sun inside, or like in a sunroom, or they left in the shade. Another group, I think. The other one, they put the gills down outside. The other was the gills up, right? So if you don't know the gills, you're not familiar with the term, it's the undersurface of the mushroom, typically known for releasing spores, right? And identification purposes. Now, they left them face up. They started with 100 IU of vitamin D, these shiitake mushrooms they were. 100 I think portobello are really high as well, naturally, in vitamin D if grown in the sunlight. They started with 100 IU for 100 grams of mushrooms, whatever that looks like. It's like, And after leaving them in the sunlight for 2 days with the gills up, they went from 100 to 46,000 IU. 46,000 IU per same 100 grams. That's a massive jump. Now, interestingly, they tested a bunch of different times in the sunlight in a bunch of different ways, and this was the optimal way. That's why the only one I'm really mentioning here. Again, they did from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Maximize the sunlight. So that's how they did it. How much is 46,000 IU vitamin D? That's like a a dose that a doctor would prescribe somebody if they had severely low vitamin D levels. Like they would take like 50,000 IU once a week or something like that. So that is a lot and a massive jump, but super cool. You know, and animal skins also, store the cholecalciferol could be converted into active vitamin D. So if you left them in the sunlight, it could increase the vitamin D levels as well. Right? Now, I'm not quite as sure for a bunch of other plants and foods. So that's what we got for you guys today. I thought it was super neat, super cool. Go put those mushrooms out in the sun, baby. You don't even need a vitamin D supplement. How about that? Now, fascinatingly, they tried a third day, and actually the levels decreased. They were probably overexposed to the sunlight, overstimulated, and for whatever reason, the levels were lower. So the optimal amount was 2 days, 6 hours each day. Happy birthday, Alex Bazin. Happy birthday, man. I hope you had a really, really great, freaking fantastic, fun, rocking out in the band, shooting the shit with your brother, who I love to absolute death, day. I don't know what you did, man. I hope you enjoyed it. Happy birthday. This one's for you. Your day in the book of When Wellness. Let's see who we got on here and say hello to the people. And we're going to get the hell out of here. I am Nova. What's up? What's up? Craig Fit. How you doing? Danny, isn't that fascinating? That's a great thing he just said. So, and I don't really know the answer why. But, it's so interesting how they grow with the gills face down, knowing how much vitamin D they could be getting had they been exposed. Really interesting. Do they grow to turn at different points of the day like sunflowers sometimes? I don't know. And there's so many different species of mushrooms. Just some food for thought. Really, really interesting stuff, man. I mean, I can't believe they went from 100. Put this in. They went from 100 IU to 46,000 for 100 grams. Nuts. CNC, what's up? What's up? How you doing? How you doing? Ruben. Nice to see you on here, guys. Hey, it's Jeremy. Hey, it is Shane, man. Thanks for hopping on. Roddy Dad, Brandon Malone, OG on here. John Catalano. How you guys doing? Joshy Joe. When will the start out time? Josh Fitz. Always for you, man. My man. You're the best, dude. Love your enthusiasm. Love for life. And love you show When Wellness. Appreciate that. Aaron Bedros. Josh, we said, what's up? What up? Threw my video up. What's up, Meg? FW Mozart, Bernstein the Dean, Rags. What's up, Rennie? And Trainer Dude. Guys, have a great rest of your night. That's all we got for you. We'll see you tomorrow. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Have a great night. Happy Wellness. Thank you. Danny, yeah, I guess everything in moderation, I guess. Well, look into it because they dropped the spores. They want them to go down, I guess, right into the ground. So maybe if they were face up, I don't know. But why didn't they evolve to absorb sunlight from the top, as much? I guess they do still absorb it from the top, just not as much. Yeah, really, that is really interesting, isn't it? Man, biology is so perfectly imperfect. It's beautiful. We'll see you. Good night. Thanks.